For decades, the world order has been shaped and largely dominated by the United States and its Western allies. Their influence has extended across continents, shaping global politics, economics, and even culture. But today, we are witnessing a profound transformation. A shift in the balance of power that is redefining the very foundations of international relations. At the heart of this change is a new coalition known as BRICS, which brings together 5 major emerging economies: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and, since 2010, South Africa. These nations, once seen as peripheral to the global stage, are now asserting themselves as key players in shaping the future. Collectively, BRICS countries account for more than 40% of the world's population and generate over a quarter of global economic output. Their cities are vibrant centers of innovation, industry, and culture, reflecting the rapid growth and dynamism that define these nations today. BRICS is not just about economic power. The group's ambition is to create a truly multipolar world, one where influence is shared more equally, and where Western-dominated institutions like the IMF and World Bank no longer set all the rules. To achieve this, BRICS has established its own new development bank, designed to provide alternative sources of financing for infrastructure and development projects, especially in countries that have often been overlooked or underserved by traditional Western lenders. For many nations in the global South, BRICS represents hope, a chance to access funding, partnerships, and opportunities without the strings often attached to Western aid. It offers a new model of cooperation, one that promises respect, mutual benefit, and a greater voice for developing countries. The bloc's recent expansion strategy, inviting new members from across Asia, Africa, and the Middle East, signals a growing confidence among non-Western powers. It's a bold move, showing their determination to forge their own path and build alliances that reflect their interests and aspirations. The rise of BRICS is more than just a shift in economic statistics. It's a fundamental change in the way the world is organized. As this new center of gravity emerges, it is reshaping global alliances, challenging old assumptions and setting the stage for a new era in international relations. In August 2023, Argentina received a historic invitation to join BRICS, a powerful coalition of emerging economies that includes Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. This invitation came at a time when Argentina was facing one of its most severe economic storms in decades. For millions of Argentinians, the news felt like a lifeline thrown to a nation battered by crisis. The country was grappling with runaway inflation, a rapidly devaluing peso, and widespread uncertainty about the future. Everyday life had become a struggle, with families waiting in long lines at banks and supermarkets, and many wondering how they would make ends meet. With inflation soaring to record highs and the peso collapsing, President Alberto Fernandez saw BRICS as more than just a diplomatic opportunity. He viewed it as a potential gateway to new markets, a way to attract much-needed foreign investment, and a chance to secure alternative sources of financing that could help stabilize the economy. For Fernandez, joining BRICS was a strategic move to break free from the cycle of economic instability that had plagued Argentina for years. China, already one of Argentina's most important trading partners, stood out as a key player within the BRICS bloc. Deeper ties with China could mean expanded trade, greater investment in infrastructure, and new opportunities for Argentine exports. The hope was that BRICS membership would open doors that had previously been closed. BRICS membership also offered Argentina a way to reduce its heavy reliance on the US dollar and the International Monetary Fund, institutions that had long influenced the country's economic policies and, at times, limited its options. By joining a bloc with its own development bank and alternative financial systems, Argentina could seek more autonomy in shaping its economic future. This move was part of a broader trend across Latin America, where countries are increasingly looking to balance their relationships between traditional Western powers and the rising influence of China and other Asian economies. For Argentina, it was about finding new partners and new pathways in a rapidly changing global landscape. For President Fernandez, joining BRICS wasn't about turning away from the West or abandoning old alliances. Instead, it was a pragmatic decision to diversify Argentina's international relationships and to ensure the country had more options in an unpredictable world. In a world that is becoming increasingly multipolar, Argentina's decision to join BRICS was a calculated bet on a future where power and opportunity are more widely distributed. Ultimately, The move reflected Argentina's urgent need for stability, growth, and new opportunities. It was a bold step toward securing a brighter future for its people, even as the storm clouds of crisis continued to gather overhead. The election of Javier Milei in November 2023 marked a dramatic shift. Milei, an avowed anarcho-capitalist, immediately reversed Argentina's BRICS membership, citing deep ideological opposition. He denounced BRICS as a bloc of communists, vowing to align Argentina with the US and its allies. For Milei, foreign policy is about principle, not pragmatism, choosing the free world over authoritarian powers. This break signaled a new era. Argentina would look to Washington, not Beijing or Moscow, for partnership. The rejection of BRICS was Milei's first major foreign policy declaration, setting a clear new course. Argentina's rejection of BRICS is a bold move in the US-China rivalry. By siding with Washington, Milei stands apart from neighbors seeking a middle path. The US welcomed this pivot, eager to counter China's growing influence in South America. Yet, China remains Argentina's top trading partner, especially for vital exports like lithium. Milei's government hopes closer US ties will bring investment and economic relief, but this strategy risks alienating China and regional allies like Brazil. Despite political tensions, Argentina's exports to China have continued to grow, highlighting the complexity of global interdependence. Political pivots are easier than untangling economic ties. Argentina's path will test whether a nation can align with one superpower while staying economically linked to its rival. Despite Argentina's withdrawal, BRICS expanded rapidly. In January 2024, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt, Iran, and Ethiopia joined, doubling the bloc's size and influence. The new members bring energy resources, strategic locations, and financial power. China, driving the expansion, sees a larger BRICS as a counterweight to US dominance. Over 40 countries have expressed interest in joining, underscoring BRICS' growing appeal. But the expanded group is diverse, mixing democracies, autocracies, and regional rivals. Internal divisions, especially over economic policy, will challenge BRICS' unity. The bloc's future depends on managing these differences and forging a coherent identity. One of the central ambitions driving the BRICS alliance is the desire to reduce their collective dependence on the US dollar, which has long dominated global trade and finance. For decades, the dollar has been the world's primary reserve currency, giving the United States significant influence over international markets and the ability to impose economic sanctions with far-reaching effects. In response, the BRICS bloc is actively exploring the creation of a new reserve currency, potentially called the unit. This currency would be backed not only by gold, but also by a basket of member currencies, aiming to provide stability and credibility. The idea is to offer an alternative to the dollar that reflects the growing economic power of the BRICS nations. The ultimate goal is to bypass the dollar in international trade, making it easier for BRICS members to conduct business with each other and with partners worldwide. This would also help shield their economies from the impact of US sanctions, which can disrupt trade and financial flows. To support this vision, BRICS is developing its own cross-border payment system, known as BRICS Bridge. This system is designed as an alternative to the SWIFT network, which is currently the backbone of global financial messaging, but is controlled by Western powers. Some BRICS members, such as India and the UAE, have already begun settling certain trades in their own local currencies, reducing their reliance on the dollar and experimenting with new financial arrangements. However, the dominance of the dollar is deeply entrenched in the global financial system. Not all BRICS members are fully aligned on the idea of a new shared currency, and there are significant challenges to overcome. India and Brazil, for example, remain cautious. They are wary of the potential for the Chinese yuan to dominate the new system, and concerned about possible instability that could arise from rapid changes. The dream of a new, more balanced financial order is powerful and inspiring for many. Yet, its realization will be gradual, complex, and often contested as countries weigh the risks and rewards of moving away from the established system. For now, the process of de-dollarization is still very much a work in progress. The world is watching closely as BRICS takes its first steps toward reshaping the global financial landscape. The US views BRICS de-dollarization as a direct threat. Under President Trump, Washington responded with aggressive tariffs on BRICS nations, aiming to deter any challenge to the dollar. Tariffs hit steel, aluminum, and key exports from Brazil, China, India, and South Africa. This hardline approach risks pushing BRICS members closer together and accelerating their search for alternatives. American consumers and businesses also feel the impact through higher prices and disrupted supply chains. Despite these moves, the dollar remains dominant in global finance. Analysts say BRICS poses no immediate threat, but U.S. actions may hasten the shift toward a multipolar world. The more Washington weaponizes the dollar, the more other nations seek alternatives. The battle for financial dominance is just beginning. Argentina's BRICS decision is a microcosm of a world in flux. Milei's alignment with the US is a bet on the old order. BRICS expansion is a bet on a new multipolar world. Most developing nations prefer flexibility, trading with all sides, not choosing camps. Argentina's sharp pivot makes it a regional outlier and a test case for picking sides. The global order is fragmenting, with no clear replacement for US dominance. The choices made today in Buenos Aires, Beijing, and Washington will shape the world for decades. We are entering a new, uncertain era in global politics.